Hello, Internet. It is Adam Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today we're going to be talking about The Shift. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. Okay, this is from Angel Studios. They're a new distributor. As you know, they're the distributor behind Sound of Freedom. I don't think I need to tell you about Sound of Freedom. I've already talked about it quite a bit, but just to reiterate very quickly, Sound of Freedom came out this past summer. No one saw it coming. I definitely didn't see it coming. It kind of just came out of thin air from my perspective, but it blew up. Everybody talked about it. It became a big deal. It made a lot of money. I believe one of the biggest movies of the year domestically. It was definitely a movie that low key saved summer, or at least saved summer from being worse. Because when it came out, man, summer was in a very rough spot. But it was able to move things in, make things less depressing at the box office, make things a little more positive. And then Barbenheimer basically saved summer single handedly. But yeah, so Sound of Freedom, big hit. So so Angel Studios, they got like a big hit under their belts. And they had like two other movies this year, His Only Son and After Death, which both did all right considering their low profiles. So yeah, Angel Studios has been doing quite all right for themselves this year. So I'm gonna label them as a pro, although it's not really a strong pro. I'll explain why later when we get to the cons. But yeah, they're a pro. Another pro, oof. I guess competition is pretty mild. I mean, the worst this movie has to deal with is Renaissance, Godzilla minus one, and Battle of the Songbirds and Snakes. And I don't think the target audience for this is going to care about any of those three movies. Like, they're all going after different crowds, technically, which is a good thing. That way, they're not all directly competing against each other. So, yeah, so competition isn't too bad. It's pretty mild. At least direct competition is mild. So, I mean, that's good. So, yeah, I guess that's a pro. Um, I don't know. What is there any other pros for this that I can't think of any other pros. I really can't. I'm trying my hardest. Can't think of anything. Okay, cons. Reviews for this are not very good. It's like 44%. Granted, there's only 16 reviews. You really can't go off of so few reviews. You need at least like 80 or 90 to really get a real consensus. But its cinema score is a B plus, which is meh. It's not great. I thought it would be like an A or something, but nah, B plus. That's okay. That's okay, and that's as good as you're gonna get. Like once you hit like B or lower, then you're in the danger zone. A B plus is just merely fine. So, word of mouth not being the greatest. I mean, that's a 44% critic score, and that B plus cinema score being just fine. So, word of mouth isn't stellar. So that's a con, definitely. Another con is that sure, there's no direct competition, but all the talk is going to be about Renaissance and Godzilla minus one, which have had way more marketing than this. Well, those two movies haven't had traditional marketing, but both are much bigger in scale than this. So, and plus, both of those movies have brand name recognition. Renaissance has Beyonce. Godzilla minus one has Godzilla. The Shift has nothing. So there's no pre-established. There's no built-in fan base. There's no built-in audience. So yeah, that's a con, definitely. So dealing with Renaissance and Godzilla minus one, that's a problem. Um, Another con I can think of. I guess lack of marketing in general. I've seen like no ads for this at all. I've seen nothing, nothing. But I guess this is going for more of like a grassroots type marketing campaign, which might explain things. But still, the lack of a hard marketing presence means this movie is not gonna exactly light the box office on fire. So, gonna label that as a con. Lack of substantial marketing. Any other cons? Can't think of anything else really. Anything significant. But yeah, I think that's it. I guess that's yeah, I guess that's it. So opening weekend, early numbers I've seen said $5 million. I guess I'm gonna go with that. I mean, that's the number. Let me see. I know After Death opened with 5 million, and what did His Only Son open with? 5 million, 5.5 million. That seems about right. So yeah, 5 million for the shift, and its total. Looking at After Death and His Only Son, they didn't have long lives. I can't imagine this is gonna be the same. So I don't know, 10 to 15 million. I'm gonna go with that. 10 to 15 million total, and that's it. So we got one more movie to discuss, and that is Silent Night, and then we are done for the weekend. And then I can relax for several weeks because the next 2 weeks is just one movie apiece before Christmas just comes rolling in and I get bombarded with movies. So, yeah, the next 2 weeks are going to be bliss for me. So, yeah, but we got Silent Night to still talk about, so stay tuned for that video. But yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, share the whole drill. We'll check out more videos like this. I got playlists on the homepage, all previous prediction videos I've made on the channel. Want to watch any of them from beginning to now? Go right ahead. Or any of the ones I've done the past few years. Want to watch any of those? Go right ahead. There's also the canceled series where I go over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. I covered The Shift like one time, and that was episode 206. I talked about it alongside The March King's Daughter and Priscilla. It was a very slow time for movie news. So yeah, I talked about it there when it got its release date. And I've now made 219 episodes of Canceled, so if you want to watch any of them from beginning to now, and want to binge them all from beginning to now, I highly encourage you to do that, so go do it. And there's also the box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. November recap will come out next week. November was not good at all. And yeah, that month is gonna be real fun to analyze because man, it was rough. So stay tuned for that video. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos of Man the Channel, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.